What's up, guys? It's Powerbang here, and I'm bringing you the next strategy guide in my series of strategy guides. This one's going to be on surgical hogging. A lot of you guys have requested this strategy guide, and basically, if you haven't seen it before, what surgical hogging is, it's not a strategy in itself. It's more of a deployment method or style of dropping your hogs, and what I mean by that is you're still bringing a similar troop composition to what you would if you did just a go-ho wee-wee or just a standard hog deployment. The difference is the way you're dropping your hogs. Before, there was in the standard style hog attacks, you have your 2-finger drops, your 3-finger drops, your Asian walls. This is going to be a little bit different, and I hope to explain that as we move in here. The difference is, let's pop open a base here. Let's go look at Drew's attack. And let's do a little base scout, and I'll show you exactly how and why this is used. So when you look at this base, the first thing that you want to try to do when you're doing any hog attack, but most specifically, surgical hogs for this particular application, you've got a double giant bomb potential here and here. You've got one here and here. So those are the potential giant bombs that are in this base that are going to actually hurt hogs. There's an open spot here that could be a Tesla, not big enough for a double giant bomb, it does not look like, so we don't need to worry about that one. So what you're going to try to do is in your army composition, you'll see that Drew has brought 2 golems in his army camp. He actually brings a 3rd one to help tank for the start of this raid. The 3rd one is not necessary. A lot of people go with the shattered style, which is 2 golems. And what he's going to do is essentially drop in a golem here, golem here, golem here, and what he's trying to do is clear out the buildings behind his golems and do the normal funnel, right? So all of this is going to be gone, and then he's going to come in with wall breakers, break into the wall probably somewhere around here, and then drop a jump spell on this junction here. The point is you need to get your kill squad into the base. So your wizards that you're dropping and your heroes, you're going to send them in, and you want them to be behind your golems. That's key number 1, is have them behind the golems. The golems are attracting the CC troops, so their only job is to tank for you. Now the way you choose the direction that you head into this base, the end goal here is this archer queen. You need to take her out. So just like any other hog raid, the archer queen is priority number 1. Now the method that you chose to get there, whether it's from this side of the base, from this side of the base or this side, go from the side that makes the most sense as far as taking out giant bomb positions or potential double giant bombs in route. So what this does is, since Drew heads in from the top of this base, he's going to come in like this. That kind of negates this position and this position. So all he has to worry about for his hogs are the backside bombs here. And if you are deploying in a surgical fashion, you're just going to have 1 or 2 hogs trip that spot. So what surgical is you're basically dropping 1 giant, and you don't always need the giants, but the giant would be something like right here, and that is going to provide shielding for hog riders that are going to come in behind it. So you'll notice this defense, and this defense will all be shooting at that giant. Now the hogs come in just behind, so you're going to drop a giant, then drop in 3 hogs typically per defense. So the outer point defenses are the ones that you're focusing on, because they're going to take that one down, move to the next one, and so forth. So you'll drop a giant and then 3 hogs here, 3 hogs here. Basically just work your way around the ring, and you're going to deploy very similarly to a Laloon raid where you're targeting defenses, like basically using your hounds as shielding. The same thing's going to happen with the hogs. The giants are going to be your lava hounds, the hogs are going to be your balloons, and you're targeting them in. Now instead of rage spells, what you're going to do is you're going to use healing spells. Now where you're going to use those healing spells are where you're most vulnerable to heavy incoming damage or giant bombs. Now you'll notice he's got 2 heals in his army composition here, and you're going to see one go down about right here. That would be my guess to cover this first potential giant bomb location, and the second one would be somewhere like this. Now what that does is anywhere that you see an X-bow and your hogs can actually group up on an X-bow, they're going to stop there for a while because those have high hit points, and they're going to basically keep your hogs grouped up there, and that's a great spot for giant bombs is next to X-bows. So get your heals down there and you know, basically heal accordingly. So you want to have all this planned out before you start the raid. So let's go ahead. I'm not going to talk anymore on this particular raid. Let's go ahead and watch Drew's raid here, and we'll see exactly how he does it. So the first thing that's going to happen is he's going to drop in his golems, and then behind the golems are his wizards, and the wizards are going to go ahead and clear out the buildings and basically create a funnel just like you normally would. So there's the 3 golems, and you're going to see 3 wizards on each side, and they're going to create the funnel, leaving that army camp in the middle for his heroes to target, and then they're going to move in behind the wall breakers that are going to come in now and break up this wall. So the wall goes down, and now you're going to see the Barbarian King come in, but he's going to wait until those golems get far enough in that those clan castle troops are targeting the golems. You see that happening now. So the golems move in. You notice the queen, the clan castle troops are all targeting the golems. The king comes in right away, takes out the enemy archer queen. A lightning was used for the clan castle kill. And then while all of this is happening, check out the giant drops down here, and he's got targeted hogs coming in to take out the defenses. And the same thing's going on this side. Giant in front taking up the damage, hogs in behind. Same thing over here. Giant in front taking the damage, several hogs come in behind. Now watch the heals that go down. He notices 2 Teslas pop here, heavy damage, and the X-bow there, so he drops 1 heal as planned. He's got another one in the bag. He's already tripped 2 giant bombs down there with only 1 hog, and then heals up the rest of his hog riders, and there's only 1 defense left to take out, and that's the cannon. That cannon was focused on this golem over here the whole time, and they're now into cleanup mode. So that is surgical hogs, guys. Using the kill squad to come in and take out a section of the base. Preferably you want to take out the portion of the base that you know has a double giant bomb and try to trigger that bomb before you send the bulk of your hogs. That just creates less of a threat for your hog riders. So let's go ahead and watch this again, and I want to focus on the mechanics of the actual tanking going on. So let's go ahead and fast forward. You guys have seen plenty of videos from me on the kill squad portion of it. That's basically get your golems down, use them as tanks, get the wizards in behind to create that funnel. The heroes come in. The key thing here, those golems that are going in, they have to be in front of your king. You can't have your king lapping up your golems here to take the aggro from the CC. You don't want your king getting hit because you need him to kill that archer queen that's sitting in the core here. And if he's in front of your golems, that's just not going to happen. So you'll see that he has triggered this set of potential double giant bombs, and then by default, by clearing all these defenses out, there's no reason anymore to have Hogs path to this set, which turns out to be the double giant bombs. He did not trigger them at all during this raid, and that was due to good planning. So let's take a look at what else is going on. You'll notice, all right, pause it right here, that on the left side of the base, the 3rd golem that he sent in, this golem has the attention of that wizard tower. Now, the wizards in his army are breaking through the wall at this point, and when they come in, that golem is going to move up to this this wizard tower, and then when it's down, it's going to start beating on this wall. That's going to have the attention of these defenses. So there is no need to drop a giant up in this area because, for one, these are splash damage, and they do not do enough damage to a hog. What you need to watch out for are the point defenses, such as the cannon. If you go down here, you'll notice that there are point defenses, and those are not currently firing at a tank. So he's going to need to drop a giant somewhere in this area. Anywhere over here works, just as long as it's in the range of this cluster of buildings. I believe what he does is drops it on this side to try to get it as close as possible to that wizard tower so he could tank the damage from that too. Once those buildings are occupied, then you'll see the hogs come in, And the same thing, if we look at the ideal spots to basically drop giants here, you could drop one on the bottom here, but that's only going to soak up 1 point defense. It might be better to drop it over here. It just depends on the number of giants that you take. You don't want to take too many. More than 4 is probably too many. 4 maximum, I would say, for your giants, and the reason for that is you're just better off with hogs that do damage. So if we take a look at this side, he chooses to drop a giant, I believe, right in the middle, just like that. And what that does is it gets the attention of all of these point defenses, and it makes it so his hogs that come in behind basically have a free ride and they're not getting touched. So they're able to sweep through. All of these defenses in here are going to be busy shooting at the kill squad that's on its way in. Notice the X-bow, it should also be pointed up this way shooting. This cannon will also be shooting this way or out to this golem. So just pay attention to the distractions. That's the key to this surgical deployment method. So once the queen goes down, or you have the queen under control and the clan castle is down, that's when it's safe to send in your surgical deployment. So the giant comes in, is tanking the damage here. The hogs move in and they're taking it out. And notice where he drops this giant down here is soaking up the damage from the hogs. Giant comes in on the right, but what I want to pay attention to is on the left side where those hogs have now, worked in and they're grouped up on this wizard tower. Notice this cannon firing here. Notice this X-bow firing over here. And down here, a mortar's not going to do anything to hogs. This wizard tower is not going to do anything to the hogs. There's going to be a couple Teslas that pop up here, and when he sees that, that's when he's going to go ahead and drop his heal. Now, if you look on the right side over here, you're going to see the giant come in. This building is actually busy firing at this golem over here. This cannon and this archer tower, it's going to get the attention of that. The giant's going to get the attention of these two buildings there, and the hogs are going to basically come in untouched. So fire up the raid here. Notice the final deployment there of the hogs. They come in untouched. First time they get shot is by the wizard tower, and by then it's too late. They're already in, taking out everything. The cannon over here is still firing at the golems up top. Completely wrecked the base. By the time the X-bow switched to shooting the hogs, they were already standing in heals and no damage was even done. So this base was completely taken apart. Perfect raid, Drew. Excellent entry, negation of the double giant bombs, and also, just kind of controlling of your pathing and your shielding. So that's the way to do it, guys. Let's go ahead and take a look at one more raid. And this one, we're going to look at kind of a suboptimal entry and show you guys why the surgical method is so powerful. So if we look at, which number here? There we go. Number 15. This is because. And when we do a quick scout on this base, it's a very popular anti-3-star base. It's nearing internet-based categories. But if we do a quick scout, what we're going to see is these positions here are very commonly double giant bombs. The third one is right here. So because the queen is located on this side of the base, an optimal entry would be to send your golems from this side of the base and to negate that double giant bomb position. Another optimal entry would be to go from this side of the base, negate this double giant bomb position, and basically take out the queen. So in that particular scenario, you would probably want to jump spell here to get to that queen, and then same thing on this other side. You would probably want to either jump here or here, depending on which way you go in. So notice that because he brings 2 golems in his composition, he's just doing a normal shattered entry, he's going to go straight at the queen. And what I mean by that is the queen is probably closest to this side. So that's how he's going to go about it. He's going to send a golem here to this side, and he's going to break into this compartment and go right at her. The goal being to drop a jump spell somewhere about right here. and trail his king, take out the queen, and then kind of work his way in. And then he's going to basically surgical into all the defenses all the way around the base. And we're going to watch as he does that. So he moves all the way around the base, you know, dropping just, you know, 3 or 4 hogs on each of these. And the key to this raid is watch his patience. You know, we know where the giant bombs are. From the scout, it tells us that here and here are the most likely. They're next to the expos. They're in, you know, in the interior of the base. Those are the 2 best spots for giant bombs. So you're going to see his heels are going to come down here and here, trying to cover those locations. The jump spell is required on entry to access the queen, and the lightning spell is used to take out the clan castle. Now, but what I wanted to focus on is his hog pathing. So as his hogs take out each of these buildings, he's only going to trip this bomb position with 1 or 2 hogs. So very, very minimal losses due to the fact that he's deploying on all these different defenses, and they're simultaneously working into the base at the same time. So as everything kind of is circling around, it's almost like the Laloon attacks where you're going counterclockwise around the base. He's got several hogs that he holds back until the very end to send at these defenses over here. And he's waiting for this double giant bomb position to explode and kill off the hogs that come in from the first side of the base. So this double giant bomb is effective. It takes out a large group of hogs, but because of the surgical deployment and the fact that he used patience and knows where the bombs are, he drops in some hogs after the fact. They easily take out these remaining buildings, and then they're the ones that serve as your cleanup troops. So let's go ahead, watch this raid, see how Because does it. And he's going to bring just the normal shattered 2 golem entry. And his goal here is to create the funnels on the army camps, as you can see, waiting for this cannon here to aggro onto the golem, which it does. The wizards create a wide funnel, and then you're going to see the archer queen come down and start cleaning up some buildings as well. The wall breakers are going to open up the wall to access that queen. And then he's going to make sure that his golems go in first. This is real key, guys. Get the golems in first before you send the Barb King. That way the clan castle troops target the golems. Notice what they're shooting at now, and wait till they clump up. And when they clump up, that's when you drop the lightning spell. So you'll notice he hasn't even sent his Barbarian King yet. He's taking care of the clan castle troops first. Here comes the lightning spell. Takes care of all the clan castle troops with that. They're all dead. And now he sends his Barb King in. Coast is clear, hasn't taken any damage yet. And he's going to hop the wall. The queen's already dead and is raged up. So let's zoom out, and we'll watch the surgical portion of this this entry at this point. So sends in 3 hogs to the cannon. The giant comes down. Now that's what the other defenses on this side are focused on. A couple hogs are going to go into that Tesla there and take that out. 3 hogs into the archer tower. First heal goes down to keep those hogs alive. And they're going to trigger the first bomb standing in a heal. Heal could have been a little bit more to the core, but it worked. They take out that Expo and move on to the next place. So check that out. 1 hog, only 1 hog, maybe a second one there if I'm seeing it right. It looks like 2 hogs triggered this second bomb. This whole pack took no damage. So they head off to the next spot. 3 more hogs come into the archer tower. You know, more hogs come in here, moving in. Pay attention to this double giant bomb set right here and watch as it goes off. Watch the damage that happens. So he just now has dropped his hogs in on the top side of the base, has been very patient. They're working through the defenses up there, and notice the double giant bomb goes off down here. A few of the hogs do survive. That's why you have the heal spell over the top of that location, and we're into cleanup at this point. So that's exactly, you know, how to do it as far as the deployment goes. You're basically just trickling in hogs just like you would in a Laloonian attack. You're using the giants as your shielding, just like you would with the lava hounds. And you're going to only deploy those giants in locations where it's going to soak up the damage of 2 to 3 point defenses. So the reason you use giants instead of just an additional hog is that 1 giant is an equivalent troop space to 1 hog. But giants have double the HP, double the hit points that a hog does. So you're basically getting a 2-for-1 deal as long as your hogs get in quick enough to those defenses and take them out. So that is about it, guys, as far as the surgical hogs go. Hopefully this has been helpful. Remember to send your kill squad in, your golem, heroes, wizards. Get that in, negate a giant bomb position if you can. The goal is to take out the queen, get the CC killed, and you can use a lightning spell to do that, and then trickle in your hogs just like you would in a Laloon attack, sprinkling in 2 or 3 per defense, typically 3 unless it's a mortar. And you're going to basically just circle around the base, counterclockwise or clockwise, whatever you choose that makes sense for pathing, in a rotational fashion. Be aware of where the double giant bombs are, and if there's a group of hogs that you know is going to path there, be patient on the next group of hogs before you drop them in so that they all don't meet the same fate. That's the true benefit of the surgical deployment method, is you can almost ignore the double giant bombs. I wouldn't quite say that, but it's dang close to being able to completely disregard them and get lucky and have just 1 or 2 hogs take out the double giant bombs, and the rest of your raid is essentially untouched. So plan out where you're going to need your heals before you do send in your troops, and target the hogs, defense by defense, and they'll collapse on the core. So another really cool thing about this strategy is even on failed raids, the raids where you just don't have enough time, that typically never comes into play with surgical because it happens so quickly, it's efficient. All defenses are engaged at the same time, essentially, which means that you're not wasting time going from defense to defense just like you would in like a 2-finger drop. So if time were an issue, your hogs typically end up in the core because they've all collapsed on the core of the base from the outside in. And one of the first buildings that's cleaned up is the town hall. So that's going to do it, guys, for this episode of strategy. Hope you guys have enjoyed the guide. If you have questions, feel free to ask them. We're going to be probably uploading some more surgical stuff in the very near future on the channel. Check the war recaps for that. But for now, this is Powerbang, and I'm signing out till next time.